today. Just been to one Bosch car service place, and the issue is that it doesn't work. Well, I didn't know it was a central locking, but it says it loses electricity sometimes. Well, it seems to me like it's got a very bad battery drain if that's the case. They've changed the alternator, they've changed the battery, they've even changed some sort of fuse box, probably the footwell module. But look, this is the biggest problem. You can't get into the vehicle. Either it's the wrong key or the lock cylinder's broken. But basically now that's a massive problem, and I've got to try and get into the vehicle now. So that's a major issue. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I need to read into the history of this vehicle. So this is another sort of example of what I have to put up with, really. It's a cold morning and I'm not really in the mood for it, so I have to solve this problem and get into the car first. So going back to this job, it looks like someone in the past has broke this off, and it's a good idea if you think about it, because the battery is down here, and I'm hoping now if I can pull this off, because I'm outside and I'm cold, and put my boost jumper on it, boost starter, might be able to get the bloody thing going, you know. I've got my nipple cities snips. This is a nipple city finish, cable tie. So this trim we're going to replace anyway, because we're not going to put back a damaged trim, so I'm not so worried about that little scratch there. And basically, if we can rip this off now and get into the bloody battery compartment. There's another one. Look, it's been smashed to pieces, this. But it's the only way to get in, I guess. Right then, so I'm going to do that, and we'll see what happens after. In the end, I just cut that off really, because I'm not going to start messing. It's so cold, the plastic's so fragile. It'll be replaced. I mean, it's broken anyway, they've zip tied it, so it'll all have to be changed anyway. It's not really expensive. Anyway, the good news is now I've managed to get into the vehicle by doing it that way. So that's good, right? So we might be able to get the damn car started now and get inside. Let's hope the wipers don't bloody come on. See what happens with it now. See if it starts now, shall we? The radio works. Okay, good. So we've got in that successfully, so we can now get that inside and start our diagnostic. Inside now. We'll throw this trim away, it's no use. Very handy place to get to the battery. So I guess it's got some sort of a battery drain. But of course, what we'll do now is we'll check if it's charging, really. That's the easiest thing to do, isn't it? It's charging great, isn't it? 14.7. We must have a battery drain, basically, I'm thinking. So that's what we'll focus on. First of all, I have to charge this battery up. It's as flat as a witch's tit, so we'll do it on this wash bay today, which is always a laugh. But I've got a problem. There's 5 volts in the battery, so it's definitely got a drain, but it won't charge. I mean, we could save this battery, but it won't charge this smart charger when the voltage gets so low. So the only thing we can actually do with this is to fool it. So what we need to do usually is get another battery is the best way. But in this sense, we've got another battery charger. Not the best in terms of, it's not really the longest cable length. I mean, you can shoot me for doing this, but at the end of the day, not everyone's got money to drop 250 quid on a battery. So what we do is we just sort of fool it a bit, and we get 11 volts, and now it'll start charging. Can you see? Now, Varhouse is Finnish language, don't worry about it. Varhouse activing, and it basically just means that it's like supporting the battery sort of thing. So now that'll start charging up now, that. But we'll have to pull our charger off quick before it blows it up. Like that. So that's a top tip for you if you want to do something with your battery, and obviously you don't want to change the battery because not everyone's got enough money for it. Just jumpstart it like that. So the top tip for today for you. So we're going to whack this bad boy on charge now, and then we'll give it an hour or two, and then I've got another job to do anyway, an early, probably on an E39, and then we'll come back to this later, and we'll start from a fresh sheet with a fully charged battery and see how we get on. So we've got the mini locked off now, got the latch closed over temporarily with the door open, and I'm still on the wash bay, my favourite place. But what we need to do is, because it has an alarm system, which is red there, it's now checking. That's it. these latches over, because there'll be a micro switch on here for the bonnet, and if they're not over properly, what might happen is the alarm system might not arm, or if it arms it might not, it'll arm but it won't go to sleep kind of thing. Solid there now, that's just started, yeah, it's just started blinking now. So our job now on this vehicle is to find out why it's got a battery drain, because obviously it was charging before when I checked it. But we need to work out why. It's been to another garage, and as you can see, it's 800 milliamps. So what we'll do now is we'll change division, we'll change units to single units and get them more accurate. It should be about 800 milliamps that. 875, 900. We need to see 0.030 to 0.050, something like that. So our job then, after this preliminary, let's give this half an hour, 40 minutes. If it's still running nearly 1 amp, then we need to start working out what's drawing 1 amp. So we'll do a variety of techniques to work that out really. Now on the Mini, we need to access the fuse box location. Not so easy because there's not really much room on the old Mini. There's a fuse box here, but that's more for sort of powertrain related stuff. But we can check that out in 40 minutes by doing a test over each fuse using millivolts on a Fluke meter, and then we'll use a conversion chart and we'll work out from there how much current it's drawing, rather than just ripping the fuses out. You can pull the fuses out, but it's unlikely, in my opinion, that any of these are going to be causing the issue. It's probably some body component. These relays are cold as well, that's a good sign. Of course we can use a heat lamp or whatever, thermometer, but everything's cold there. So that's a good start. So we'll see how we get on after. Let's leave it 40 minutes now. See how we get on with it. And this is the nature. It's dropping a bit now. Nature of fault finding, I'm afraid. 600 milliamps is still too high. Of course, we would have to open the car by unlocking it and resetting everything, because the alarm's going to go off. So if we need to get to the fuse box inside, we'll do the test again. We'll leave the other door open, locked off, and somehow try and do it without setting the alarm. What we can do with a suspected draw for a fuse is we can go across it and measure in millivolts DC, and it should stay at 0. If it's anything even like 0.1, we can use a conversion chart and we can work out the current draw from that. Now I've already gone through these, I'm just doing it to show you, and basically there is no draw on these, which means I can kind of pretty much at the moment preliminarily dismiss this as a device, a fuse box that's going to cause battery drain. Again, all the relays are cold as well, so in a sense that's probably quite reasonable. I might get away with that as an okay component. But I've just noticed, and I'm always kind of noticing things on these jobs. Like this water pump is not original, it's an aftermarket pump and wiring harness, and you know, it's probably some heating system, either a Webasto or probably an electrical heater, block heater, that needs a water pump. So it seems okay. I mean, it's not like warm or pulling any current, I don't think, but we would need to check that. And we can't really put the amp clamp around 2 wires, it doesn't work that way, so we'd have to separate that. But the best thing to do now is go to the next easy thing, which will be the inside fuse box, and continue. And it's just a detective story really. You just got to keep searching for clues, like a detective novel, you know. Eventually you'll find the guilty party. One point I will make is that these fusible links, to check the draw on these the same method as the way I've done them, we would have to pull the glass caps off, or the plastic caps, clear caps, and go across each terminal. I mean, they're quite chunky ones, 50 amps, and you could pull some power then. You'd have to go across each soldered joint really and check them, but that might be something I'll probably do anyway, just to rule them out really. But for the moment, this fuse box seems clearly okay. After an hour, 330 milliamps is too much, and we've definitely confirmed the first stage of this problem. We know there's a drain on it. Now the issue with Minis, which I hate, is there's no room. I've just checked this, by the way, that's pulling nothing. Battery's warm. Bearing in mind it's had a new alternator, it's had a new battery, it's had a fuse box apparently, or some control in it, nobody knows for sure. I can see someone's done a lovely job putting those cabin filters in. Look. The issue with Minis is there's no room, so this is some fusible link carrier. Now we could probably work out from here if, you know, where it's going, where it's pulling, but there's no room really. So the next thing I need to do is wake it up, because unfortunately I only had one door open. The alarm is still on, and we're gonna have to let it go to sleep again. Then we're gonna start doing the same test with the fuses on the inside, and hopefully we'll find one that's awake. Things like final stage unit for the heater system for the blower motor can cause this. So it's 300 milliamp. We need to work out what that is, don't we? And we can work on sort of drawer components. We've got information on bulbs and things like that, but it won't really be that. I mean, it can be anything. It can be even like shorted out LEDs on indicators and stuff. I've had them before. It could be a door lock, it could be anything. So now we need work out, don't we, what's going on. So I'll pause this recording now, and I have to keep editing them into one loop really, because I don't have the time just to keep filming constantly, and I certainly don't have the memory on the iPhone for that. So unfortunately, until I get a better setup, I'm just uploading everything as I go along. There's that fuse for that water pump. So it's for the DEFA system, which in Finland we have a lot of these. That's some sort of a hell of a cable on that as well. I don't suspect that as being faulty, but that's just probably a battery charger by the looks of it. That, I think. I'm doing the same test as before. I have to be really quiet and careful because the alarm system is on. And I've noticed, I think these will be probably for the footwell module. I had a problem with an X5, which I'll try and make a video on at some point. And I can tell you straight, on a 40 amp fuse of that size with a 0.1 millivolt drain, or draw should we say, that will correspond to around 60 milliamps. So pretty much already with two fuses you've got 120 milliamps. And then remember we had 300 plus milliamp drain, what we measured before. I know that's probably more likely the footwell module. And if you remember that when we started this job, the driver's door, I couldn't get into it, I had to break the panel under the bonnet just to get the jump starter on it. Well, the X5 was like that, and it was the barrel was smashed and damaged. You see there's no drain on that one there. And it was activating the micro switch, not to the point where the live data would show it open or close. It was working every time, but it was just twittering, and it was basically going to ground. Some of these locks on BMWs, they have a permanent 12 volt at the lock. It's always there, even when the car's asleep. And when the lock goes faulty, it'll keep waking the car up and stop it sleeping. In this case, it's not sleeping at all because it's just pulsing to ground. We can measure that because I did it on the X5, which was very surprising. And I've measured these twice now, so we've only got two now. The problem is if I pull these fuses out, which I'm not going to do, the car will wake up and the alarm will go off. It'll just wake up the footwell module. The footwell module may well be asleep. If we go onto cant, and actually there's a lovely cant here, I've just noticed. Just here, there's a nice cant there. I could probably pick up a cant and check out if the can is still sleeping. If there's a signal on here, then it's not sleeping, it should be flat really. So they're definitely cant wires, I can tell that for a fact. So that's a nice place to pick up a cant. What else have we got here? Oh, a few other things for the telematics systems and that, but yeah, we can basically start troubleshooting, I think, by disconnecting the driver's door lock on that. So I think that is what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to pull this off first before I start ripping door panels off. And it's a bit of an awkward one, this. It's not so easy to get to now. Alright, pull that out. There is a danger that the switch will be open on the alarm won't arm, but we'll leave that now and we'll check the drain and we'll see what happens. So what I've got here is I've got the power churn CAN bus monitoring it, and I've just done the same with the CAN bus. It's basically all going to go to sleep in that sense. Usually on BMWs these type of things can stay awake, but we can cross that off our list because it's basically going to go out in a minute when the car sleeps. I've narrowed it down to the footwell module definitely. I just need to find out. There you go, just to show you, that's the PT can asleep, and I could repeat the same with the can. So all the units on that bus are asleep. Shame, usually it's either can or PT can what causes things to stay awake or whatever, or wake up. So I've managed to trace it to that wire which comes from fuse 52. So it's not the front plug, It's the second plug of the footwell module. So now we just need to start pulling the door module umbilicals off a bit like I've done with this one here, to narrow down, you know, which door is causing the issue, so basically. By removing the two fuses in the footwell module, that's definitely our drain, because there's no drain there. Well, that's an acceptable drain amount. Obviously the problem now arises is what's connected to that. So now we need to go to the footwell module and we need to start looking at what part of the module is drawing this current. And then if we find the answer to that, we've got... Well, this door panel's clearly been off already. That much is a fact, because normally they're really tight, and normally you've got to get a blade on them. Look, it's just falling apart there. Someone's had this off before. Window motor or something. Oh look, it's all damaged anyway, this. But it certainly wasn't the door lock. Oh, it's knackered this anyway, look, it's absolutely rotten. So I'm guessing it's something to do with the window motor, which is there. I hope it's that. But something's draining that footwell module, and it's this door definitely. So let's see. Let's see if it's this motor. Huh? This is all full of water and damage. Look, oh, it's a mess. The amp needs a hooked up still, so. Oh, it's full of water. It's full of water, this connector. Yeah, that's the one. So there you are, mystery solved. It's absolutely full of water, that motor. Damn. So that's one sorted. So in the end, it basically was just another simple door lock. What can I say? It's just the type of thing that we're getting all the time, and the thing is, you've got to be absolutely fast and know how to get to this point. It wasn't so easy really, because, you know, other jobs on at the same time and everything like that, and you know, it could be a million and one things. I mean, I could have started stripping the rear first, but it's just surprising really. There's no fault codes, there's nothing. Energy diagnosis didn't work with Autologic, so it still wouldn't connect because of some compatibility issues. So, you know, it was faced with quite a lot of things really. But I hope this process can teach you and show you just exactly how you can start narrowing stuff down by going to a certain point, and a point of tick it off, and then it's like a how can I say, deductive reasoning sort of thing. So I hope you've learned something, and let's see you again on the next video. And boy, have I got some stuff. I'm busy, 1 month queue now of nothing but fault finding. So I've got that much. I've got too much material, and I haven't got the time really to upload everything. I really still need to make money for this company, so I can't just mess around. But I'm actually after hours now. It's nearly 7 o'clock at night now, and I've stayed behind to make sure it's definitely the lock. So I'm going to write this job up now, and then the boss can order a lock. So I'll see you all next time, and I hope you enjoyed this video.